6 News at noon starts now with breaking news.
A Chesterfield road still closed after a fatal collision between a car and a school bus this morning. This is the CBS 6 News at noon. I'm Cheryl Miller. Chesterfield investigators detoured traffic around the area after a bus slammed into a white sedan. Old 100 Road near Creekpointe Circle around 8:30 this morning is where the accident happened. There were several students on board that bus. CBS 6 News has team coverage in Chesterfield. Our Joe St. George has information on where that bus was headed and how the school is now handling the situation. We begin with Jake Burns. He joins us live from the scene of that accident, now with the name of the victim.
Yeah, Cheryl, Noel Santos is the name of that victim, and we're told by neighbors that he's a nice guy and that apparently his wife just had a baby not long ago. But here's the scene right back behind me. You can see the school bus and the vehicle are still here on the scene as the crash team is trying to figure out exactly what led up to that fatal moment. MedFlight came to help the driver of this mangled sedan, but they turned around shortly after arriving. Police say there was nothing they could do for Noel Santos, and he died on the scene.
It's tragic, very tragic.
For parents like Trey Hatton, seeing a wreck involving a school bus that looks this bad isn't easy. But he says hearing the collision is just as weird.
I literally just walked out the door and I heard.
Chesterfield crash team investigators are reconstructing each second before the fatal impact.
Being that I work on cars for a living, I've seen a lot of mangled up cars. It doesn't surprise me. It's just tragic.
Car looked familiar. I think it's from the complex.
Neighbor Alan Wright's suspicions were correct. Police say the driver lived in the Creekpointe apartments right next to the wreck site.
And, for have a loss like that, right in your community and right here is, kind of scary.
4 children were on the bus during the wreck. They were not injured, but Hatton says he worries about the emotional effect this kind of thing could have on them.
Yeah, I mean, if it was my daughter on that bus, I'd be down there. My heart would fall to the floor.
No, I can tell you that police tell us that this section of Old 100 Road right here is going to be shut down, basically all the way down to Otterdale. We will have team coverage on this later today, specifically how the sun could have played a factor in this, according to neighbors. When you're driving this direction here on Old 100 Road, they say it's right in your eyes right around 8:30. More on that coming up later in the day, around 5 o'clock, Cheryl.
All right, that's our Jake Burns reporting live from the scene of the accident. Now CBS 6's Joe St. George continues our team coverage from Greenfield Elementary, where the school dropped off those students who were on the bus at the time of the crash. Joe has information on how administrators are handling the incident and how parents are reacting. Joe?
Hey, good afternoon, Cheryl. Obviously, the community here at Greenfield Elementary still stunned that 4 of their students were on a bus that resulted in someone else's death. Now, Greenfield Elementary School is a gifted school, which means they accept students from different parts of the county. That explains why only 4 students were on the bus at the time of the incident just a couple hours ago. The Chesterfield school system telling CBS 6 counselors will be available for students and staff should they need to speak with someone. Many parents learning of the news as they were setting up for a Relay for Life event at the school, which we're told is still scheduled to take place this evening.
I'm glad all the children are safe, but, dealing with the other things that are going to come from that, I'm sure the students are going to be upset. But we have a wonderful school counselor, so, Mrs. Gray, hopefully she can help them.
And we are told that the bus involved is actually a Tomahawk Creek Middle School bus. That school alerting parents through their notification system that none of those students were involved in that crash. The school system has yet to tell us whether or not the 4 students on the bus continued on their school day or were picked up by parents. We're obviously staying on top of this story all afternoon long. Cheryl, will have the very latest tonight at 5. Back to you.
All right, that's our Joe St. George reporting, and Joe will continue our team coverage for later newscasts today here on CBS 6. Coming up on the CBS 6 News at 5, we'll hear from a Chesterfield parent who's also a former school bus driver. Find out the safety feature on the bus that may have shielded those students.